Hi, Michaela Lanning here. Are you critical of yourself a lot? Do you find yourself with like these pockets of self hatred or this way that you just start beating yourself up? I'd like to suggest today that some of what might be going on isn't just that you think or you feel like you're a lousy person, and maybe that's not actually the core cause of these feelings. One reason that this could be coming up is kind of a misplaced fight mode. So, what do I mean by that? I've started a series on different modes like fight and flight, and yeah, different modes besides that. And one of the things I'm wanting to talk about is kind of the different flavors or nuances of these modes because sometimes I think we can believe that we have one struggle and it originates elsewhere. So let's talk a little bit about how self-criticism could be fight internalized and how on earth that happens. So imagine that there is a kid who is being mistreated somehow. His parents are overlooking him, or maybe they're really threatening. Maybe they're yelling. Maybe he is scared. And maybe if he expresses his fear or he expresses his anger, he gets slapped. Maybe he gets told off. Maybe he gets sent to his room. Well, anger tends to go somewhere. And when it can't go the most direct route to the person that we're with, like when it feels like it won't be welcomed or like we'll be in even more trouble, if we express it, we still have the adrenaline. And sometimes that adrenaline, like the only place for it to go is inside. And another kind of complicating factor here is that as kids, we're not generally looking around at our parents or our teachers and going, "Gosh, I really think this is their fault. I think that they have a problem. I think my dad has low self-esteem right now due to his, fear about his employment." Like we don't contextualize that way as kids. One of the ways that we give ourselves a sense of control is we go, "Oh, if it's my fault, maybe I can fix it. If it's about me, maybe I can do something about this." So that actually starts to go into another topic for another day, which is shame, um, and that's another kind of adaptation. But even just thinking about it now, I think that shame could also be internalized fight. But for today, I'm wanting to focus on more like if you have like an adrenalized kind of self hatred thing, or you start just berating yourself, and just give you the idea that maybe there is some way that you're angry when that stuff comes up. And if you're to look around at your situation, can you think of anything that you might be angry about in the times that this self criticism is coming online? Because I think sometimes when anger gets underexpressed or we don't feel safe to express it externally, it just goes right in. And so the hateful words or the hateful kind of just that feeling of like adrenaline and like I have to do something, it goes inside. And in that case, it's not about really the thoughts that you're having about yourself. It's really about the adrenaline. It's really about the anger, and it's really about anger that either now or historically or both hasn't really had a place to go. And sometimes just knowing that can give you a little bit of empowerment. So, next time that you find yourself feeling self critical, maybe just check in and see if you can sense like some kind of anger that came before that, some kind of anger maybe with somebody or something else, and see if you can find a way to like validate that anger and actually, even feel into what you would like to say to them if you felt safe to say it. Because I think in so many situations, just in the modern day world, we have a lot of energy and a lot of fight in us, and that's great. Fight lets us know when something doesn't feel fair. It lets us feel into when we're feeling disrespected, or feeling dissed, right? Or like when we're not getting our needs met. So it is an important signal. If it feels out of proportion in your world, there are going to be reasons for that, and it might be something from maybe a long time ago that just keeps getting fired off. But the question for right now is, what was angering you before the self-hatred or the really harsh self-judgment came in? And just, what would you have liked to be able to say in that situation? Not because you're going to say it, not because you're going to go into like your boss's office or go to your partner and just, ream them out. That's not really the direction here, but just even being able to see if you can find a forward focus for that sense of anger, or just even being curious about if there is something around you that might be triggering that. And this isn't about, it's not about turning the blame from inside to outside, even. It's just really about being able to understand that if you have this fight mode that you're going into, there's some part of you that's wanting something to feel different in your world. And the more that you can find out about that, the better clarity that you're going to have. Because so often with self hatred, just beating ourselves up, we go around in circles and it doesn't lead to anything satisfying because it's not the core issue, or it's not the core feeling, or it's not the core cause. So start looking for anger, and start looking for things in your life that maybe are looking for something a little bit different to happen. And that might help you to know how to take like kind, clear action on your own behalf, but in honor of that fight mode that's saying something doesn't feel right.